Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll talk about switch statement in JavaScript. We use switch statement to handle condition in our program. You can think switch statement as an alternative for ladder if else statement, where inside the if else statement, we execute different block of code depend on the condition. In switch statement, we have a single expression and we'll compare it with different or multiple values, and then we execute different block of code depend on this value. So in this video, we'll talk about a syntax for creating switch statement. Then we'll talk about how the code inside the switch block will get executed. And in the then we'll take some example. And in the last segment of the video, we'll compare a switch with a if else block. So we'll start our video with a syntax for creating switch statement, or how we can write switch statement inside the JavaScript. So to create a switch statement, we use keyword switch. So this must be in lowercase letter followed by parenthesis, and then inside this parenthesis we have an expression. This expression can be numeric or a string. Then we are opening and closing curly braces that will define block of scope of the switch statement. And inside this we'll compare different case values against expression. So we have to use an keyword called case, and then we'll pass our value that you want to compare against this expression. We can have multiple case and values. So we'll write here value 1 followed by the colon, and below this we'll write our code, and then we have break keyword that will separate different case. Okay. Now this break keyword or break statement is an optional in switch statement. You can skip it while writing the switch statement. We'll take an example the showing how if you skip this break statement, how it will change the output. Okay. So again we have multiple case, so we'll write case 2, we have value 2, and then we have colon, and again inside this we'll write our code, and again we have break statement, or we can skip it. And if you have multiple cases, you can write it down here, or we can also an optional block which will start with the default keyword. You can compare it with the else block of a if else statement. Okay, then we have a colon, and inside this we have code, and again we can have break statement. Now this default block is an optional block, and we can the order of this block is not matter. This default can also have first statement in a switch statement, or we can write it in a middle also. Okay, so now we'll talk about how the code inside the switch block will get executed. So first of all, it will evaluate this expression. This expression can be normal number like 2, or it can be having a string like Monday, or it can have valid expression like 2 plus 3 into 6. Like when this expression get evaluated, it will compare against these cases. Like it will start from first case. If the value is match, then code inside this case will get executed. And then if the break statement is encountered by the interpreter, then it will just jump out of this whole switch up block. Okay, if it will not match with the break statement, or if you just keep this break keyword, then the code below of this case will also get executed until the break keyword found, or the whole the code inside the switch statement get executed. Okay, if the first case is not match, then it will compare against case 2. Okay, and if the none of this case is match, then the code inside this default block will get execute if you write the default block in a switch statement. Okay, so this is how the code inside the switch statement get execute. Now we'll take one or two example to explain the execution of switch statement. So now we'll print the weekdays depend on the day number. Like we have day number 0, then we'll print Sunday. If we have 1, then we'll print Monday, and so on. At the 6, we'll print Saturday. And if the number not match with any of this integer value, then we'll pass or then we'll print invalid day. We'll directly run this program inside the browser. So I'll write it in a code editor. So I'll open VS Code editor. Okay, I will create a variable called day that will store a day, and then we have switch statement that will accept this expression for the variable, and we have case. First of all, write 0, case 0, and inside this we have console log Sunday. So this is the simple case. If I just enter 0, day as an 0, now if I run this, we got Sunday as an output. And we can also have multiple cases, so we'll separate them with the break keyword. And I will just copy and paste these cases 6 times. Or we can have an optional block which is default, and we'll write here invalid day. Okay. And if inside the last case, if your default case, or if case is your default last case inside the switch statement, you can skip writing break keyword. Okay, because it doesn't matter. Like when it will execute the default block, it will directly it will got this closing bracket, so it will directly close this switch block. Now if I run this program, we got same output Sunday and Monday, because here we skip the break statement, so the code below this case 0 also get execute. Now if I run this with the break statement, we got Sunday as an output, so I'll remove the break keyword. Okay, and now if I run this program, we got Sunday and Monday as an output. If I remove the break statement below this case 1, we got Sunday, Monday and Tuesday as an output. Okay, and if I enter invalid day as a 9, then we'll run the code inside this default block, output will get invalid day. Or if you have some cases that have same code, when we enter a different input, so we can group them. Like here for case 0, case 1 will print Tuesday, we'll write case 1 and case 2 like this. Now if I run this with the input 0, we'll get output as on Tuesday. If I enter 1, we'll again get the same output as on Tuesday, or again we can for the 2 we'll get output same as on Tuesday. Okay, so this is how switch statement get execute. Or if I just copy and paste this default with the first statement inside the switch statement, so and now if I get enter invalid day, we again get the invalid day. Okay, now here I didn't enter the break keyword, so the code below this default get executed. Okay, so we'll take another simple example with a string as an case values. So we'll write big day and Monday, and below with these cases we'll enter print something onto the console. Like we have case Monday and case Tuesday will print starting of the week. And below this we have break statement. We have case Wednesday, day, Friday, case Saturday. That is will write big day, middle days, middle week. Again we have break, and last will be Sunday, where print holiday. Then we can have default block, that this will write invalid day. Now if I run this program, we got starting of a week for Monday. If I enter Wednesday, Thursday, we got middle week days. And if I enter wrong week or weekday, we got invalid day as an output. Okay, so this is the simple switch statement. Now we'll talk about how we the comparison between if and switch statement. So inside the switch statement, we compare the condition which has a boolean value, and depend on this boolean value we execute different block of code. Okay, like here we'll write a condition, and this condition must be evaluate true or false value. Then we execute the code if this condition is generating a true result, else we execute the code inside the else block. But inside the switch statement, we have an expression or the numbers, so there is no condition of a true and false. We have to pass a value or an expression. Inside the if else, and then we have a second point where inside the if else statement we can compare the values with the different operators. Like we'll compare with the equal for the equality of the values. If you have two values, or we can have greater than, less than values, or greater than or equal, less than, equal to, like this. Or we can also use logical operators like logical and logical or operator. But inside the switch statement, internally JavaScript uses strict equality operator. We don't have any other operator to compare the values. So if you want to compare the values basis on their comparison, like if the number is greater than or less than, then we have to use if else statement. If you just want to compare the values with its equal for its equality, then we can use switch statement. And here JavaScript uses strict equality. If you use value as an string, and inside the switch statement you check the case as an integer, now this will not going to match because because the using of strict equality. Okay, inside the strict equality it will also consider the type of the variable. This is the basic difference between if else and switch statement. Okay, so this is all about switch statement in JavaScript. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.